Hello my sweet honeys and welcome to another chatty makeup video in my fresh Christmas setup. Oh my gosh, finally, this took me forever. I have just been so unbelievably busy with Black Friday and holiday season for my Store Glow Atelier that it's just been so difficult to do anything but business related stuff. And I know you guys aren't so big on the small business videos, so we're not going to talk too much about that today, but it has been busy. But Christmas setup is finally here. We are going to be doing another Douyin inspired makeup look because for my entire time doing makeup, that's been like my absolute favorite style. It's very ethereal, very glowy, very kind of bridal inspired, and I just love that kind of look because the Western style makeup does not suit my face whatsoever. It really doesn't. It just makes me look old, like really old. But anyway, we're gonna be doing this look here today. I'll have, as per usual, the footage pictures inserted on the screen throughout the duration of this video so you guys can follow along if you want. Yeah, let's just hop into it. I already have some foundation on today. I'm using the Too Faced Born This Way foundation in vanilla, which I have decided is not my color match anymore. Like, look at this. It's like, it's too dark for me compared to my neck. Normally, I would use the romnd cushion right here, but this is like, I don't know. It's like a little too light for me as well. This is in New Zero Cushion 02 Pure 21. I don't know. Like, I went to Ulta the other day and I just like, it was so boring. Like, I don't know, Western, it's just boring. Like, everything is just Fenty and Rem and Kylie and or like Clinique. And I'm like, it's so boring. Like, Western makeup is just boring. I don't know. So I'm thinking I kind of want to do Asia beauty makeup haul sometime soon because I haven't bought new makeup in forever. And I actually threw away so much of my makeup when I moved from Canada to the United States because it was just like expired. So I'm really craving like a nice big juicy like new makeup overhaul. Anyway, I also already have concealer on. I used my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade also Vanilla on my under eyes. But we're gonna start off with the eyes today, and I can see that the girl, she has very bright inner corner, so I'm gonna be using my NYX Jumbo Pencil in the white shade to really lift and brighten that inner corner, because for me, of course, I'm not Asian, so my eyes are a lot more sunken than hers. I don't even know if sunken's the right name. It's just my nose bridge is so much more prominent, especially between my eyes. Like, I have a very high nose bridge between my eyes. I get a lot more natural shadow there. But yeah, what do you guys think of like doing Korean, Japanese makeup again? Like, that was just so much more fun. And to be honest, that's actually what originally got me into doing like makeup tutorials. It was never like Western makeup scene. It was always the Asian makeup scene, and what originally inspired me to become a YouTuber way back a million years ago was Asian beauty bloggers, and not even YouTubers, like blogs. And I just loved the imagery. I loved the style of makeup. It was just so pretty. And that's what originally got me into it. So, and like all throughout the years, like who remembers like, you know, 2014 all the way to 2016, like those days of makeup YouTube, that just like, I don't know, it never really resonated with me that time. I'm just going to take whatever's left over on my finger and gently wipe it over my brow bone. Yeah, that like kind of makeup scene was never my scene, and I always much preferred Asian makeup. I'm very shiny, so we're gonna be going in and taking the shine off of my face because I've had this foundation on all day and it's now like 5 p.m. So I'm gonna be going in with my Charlotte Tilbury Loose setting powder in just the translucent shade, which apparently doesn't exist anymore. I got this in one of the Charlotte Tilbury PR sets. I think it was last winter. Was it? Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. And I was trying to find it because I used it in the last video and I wanted to link it for you guys, and I couldn't find it, and I was like, oh, that's like one of the difficult things with being a makeup YouTuber. What I originally found and why I kind of started to veer away from it was it just like so much makeup gets discontinued and there's such like a turnover for the makeup industry that it's so highly consumer based, and it's like fast fashion but for makeup, and it's very difficult to keep up. But I find the skincare industry was is a lot easier to keep up with trends because things don't get discontinued as easily as makeup does. Still feel like really shiny, especially on my forehead. Speaking of my forehead, I was telling you guys how I've been breaking out a lot on my forehead. I still am, but like I took like a very deep close, like one of those magnifying mirrors on my forehead last night. And I was like, oh my God, I have so many blackheads on my forehead, which I never really have before. So that was quite the shock. Like my forehead is usually always so clear and like nothing's ever going on there. So it was quite the surprise. So I did like a big extraction last night and it gave me like a new pimple, which was really annoying because like, I did all the aftercare prep to ensure I did like the sanitize with the isopropyl alcohol. Then I did like the double sanitize, the cleansing, the exfoliating, and then I did like the sheet mask after to really get rid of the inflammation and redness out of the skin. And even that, it didn't work. Okay, now I see that she is very pink on the eyes, which I love. That's like my favorite. So I'm going to be going into my favorite palette that I built myself a million years ago back in like 2016, which is my ColourPop palette here. And I'm going to be sourcing probably, gosh, I don't know actually. Because like the color that she has overall on her entire eyelid isn't very like pink, it's kind of neutral. So we're going to be going in with this color here. This is Labyrinth from ColourPop. We're just going to wash that color all over the eyelid as our base and also on the lower lid as well as the base. I had somebody comment on one of my older Douyin makeup inspired look videos this morning, and the comment actually really got to me and kind of like ruined my mood for the day. And it was something really like ridiculous. Like I forgot I used to get comments like these all the times when I first started out YouTube and when I was doing like recreating Japanese makeup looks from Japanese magazines, because I thought, oh fun, I love this makeup style, like gyaru style makeup. And like I used to get people all the time being like, you're trying to be Asian, and I was like, so ridiculous, like so ridiculous. It's like, guys, it's makeup. Like nobody can gatekeep makeup. Like it's absolutely ridiculous. But it kind of got to me because the person was just saying that like the kind of makeup style doesn't suit my face, and like it's because you obviously have lip filler. And it was just like, it was clearly that this person just didn't like me, which is fine. Not everybody is gonna like you, so be it. But it was just like so unnecessary because it's like a video that was just for fun. Like these videos are always just for fun, just to talk, just to, just to be chatty and do makeup at the same time in a makeup style that I personally enjoy. And at no point are these makeup videos transformation videos. Like never am I trying to make myself look exactly like the model, nor am I trying to use the exact same products that the model may have used, or things that are just like dupes or like to a T like recreations. It's more so like, this is what I have, this is the look I like seeing, let's try it out, just fun. And so that's why the comment was obviously like, okay, this person just doesn't like me because they're very much so like just trying to nitpick apart everything about me and my makeup, but mostly me and my face, which so it really got to me. And just like, I kind of want to like talk about that and bring it up, that in case any new viewers are here, because I know these videos sometimes get new viewers, so hi, welcome, it's so nice to have you. Just because I am doing makeup looks that are featured on like an Asian person doesn't necessarily mean I am trying to look Asian or trying to do a transformation video. It's just I simply like the makeup styles, as I find Western trends look really bad on me, don't suit my face. And I just personally don't like that style of makeup either. I much prefer the soft, the glittery, the glowy makeup looks instead. Let's go ahead and move on now, doing some little glitter aspects. What I love about these Douyin style makeup looks and just Asian makeup looks overall in general is they're very glowy and very glittery, and I really have always loved that. I always found it so fun to utilize a lot of glitter. So I'm going to dive in with my finger, and I'm going to pick up this color here called Ready or Yacht. What a fun color. And it's just like, it's a slightly frosty glittery shade, and on that same brush that we used to do the entire eyelid with the color, we're going to go ahead and just lightly brush that over. Now I was thinking of using my finger, but I find that when you use the finger you really pack on the color, while when you use a brush it disperses some of that pigment, so you end up just getting kind of like the glowy shimmeriness of it instead, which is exactly what I want. We're just going to go completely all around that color we already laid. She has a little bit of egg yolk definition just on the outer bit there, so we're going to do a little bit of that as well. I'm going to be picking up this color right here from my ColourPop palette, Bel Air. It's a bit of a taupe shade, really like light and neutral, and just with this somewhat larger angled brush, pick up a little bit at that, and just on that lower outer part, so to really help me, you know, get a little bit of space between my cheekbone and there. Just gonna squint a little bit and just pull outwards. It's a little bit hard to see because I naturally have egg yolk because my face is much more defined, and I guess you could use the word angular because I'm a white girl. So usually when I do egg yolk, I don't like to do it too much because it feels heavy on me if I do a lot, so a lighter shade works out great. Now we're going to do the defining colors, and what I really liked about this look is she utilized eyeshadows as eyeliners, which is one of my favorite things to do. I used to do it a lot when I was more into makeup, so I'm going to be taking the shade Get Out, and we're going to be using that to do the eyeliner that she has. So with a eyeliner brush, picking up that and tapping off the excess, we're first going to do the extension right there. And first getting that initial shape. And then since that part is a lot lighter than the other ones, we're just going to go in after and kind of buff it out a little bit to soften the color. Smudge it out a little bit. Now she's used that same color and done some more fun eyeliner shapes. So the inner corner, lid, and then again on the inner lower, right in that water tear duct, and then that connects, so just right into the lower lash line as well, and then it goes a little lower off the actual lash line as like an extension of the eye a little bit, and then it fades out nicely. And then she does the same thing just for a little wing on the outer upper lid. But I do feel like for the upper lid she did add a little bit of a brown kohl pencil to kind of deepen that wing, so we'll go ahead and do that after. To be honest with you guys, like about that negative, unnecessarily negative commented from earlier, I've kind of come to a little bit of a realization, especially since I've dipped away from being like super regular on YouTube. Like I'm still here, I'm still going, but like I've definitely dipped away a little bit just because like Glow Atelier, my business, has been a little overly consuming for me of my time. Like it's pretty much like my entire life now is my business, which is just like just how it happens. Like with that being said, I've naturally like keeping up with YouTube and posting on a schedule has gone out the window a little bit. Like I'm still trying to do like the once a week, and if I can, I do like the twice a week, which has become more of a rarity. But like with that, I've naturally like dipped away. Not necessarily what I wanted to do, but it's just how it's happened. But it's put me in like an interesting new situation where I find I have sort of lost all patience for negative comments. Like I used to, like it's kind of like a given when you're on social media that you'll get like negativity and people just like saying really mean things with like for no reason whatsoever, which is like unfortunately normal and to be expected to a degree. Not saying that like people should do that, because that's just like mean, super hurtful for some people, and like not like normal or nice. Like those people definitely have issues to hate people they've never met and who are online just doing like makeup videos or like day in the life vlogs. It's just like, okay. But like I've come to a point where because I'm not so consistent on YouTube like I used to be, that like I've 100% lost all patience for those kind of comments, and almost getting me to a point where I'm like, why do I even bother doing this? Like, of course I'm gonna keep going because like YouTube, I've been doing YouTube for so long, it's a part of who I am. So to deepen that upper eyeliner, I'm just taking this like somewhat, I don't even know what you call this, like this kind of like purpley, it's not like quite a black, but it's also not quite brown. And we're just gonna go over and do the center part of that upper, just to deepen it. But yeah, I've definitely lost all patience for a lot of that like BS that comes with like being a YouTuber, which is totally normal, but like also I'm not too sure. Like I'm undecided if it's also like an age thing because like, you know, I'm older now and I just like, I guess don't have patience for like anyone's BS. And that even comes down to real life. Like I've gotten to a point in my life as being an adult where like, if I don't mesh with someone, I'm just like not gonna waste my time, and it's just like one and done. Like I'll meet someone, don't mesh, or like there's a bit of BS or cattiness, like I'm just like out. I'm not gonna like, oh well, benefit of the doubt, maybe that, you know, I'm just kind of like move on, one and done. So I think that like that kind of feeling mentality has crossed over into YouTube a little bit as well. I'm gonna go in with my favorite little frosted Majorca white eyeshadow. It's just like a frosted eyeshadow I would show you, but it's been broken for years, so it's like in a powdered state. But like I also like for those kind of comments as well, I used to back in the day leave them on YouTube to kind of like, you know, help the engagement of the video, get like maybe like a conversation going between like followers to discuss, okay, why does this person feel so negatively, like things like that, or just see where the audience brings that conversation. But I found over the years as well that more often than not, when people see something really negative and mean, or like something where it's like, you know, clearly an attack on my physical appearance, like who I am, like which is horrible, absolutely horrible. I have found more often than not people, it's like a gateway for a bunch of people to kind of hop on board and get a train of negativity attacking me for my physical appearance, which is absolutely like that kind of mentality as well. I'll never understand because it's just cruel, and not saying like that's what's happened, no, but even like when I've experienced it in the past, which unfortunately was a lot, like people grow up. I'm taking the One Size Cosmetics Everything and More Eye Popper, I think. It's like, it's just like a glitter. We're just going to be going, like sweeping it over gently because like this is quite pigmented as well. I don't want too much pigment, but I do want the color of glitters that are in there. They're more of like a pink glitter. But again, coming back to like Western makeup, the thing I don't really like about it as well is that like everything is so focused on pigment that like it makes it a little bit hard to layer cosmetics and get a specific look because everything has so much pigment in it, which you could say is good for the consumer in terms of getting like your value, but not if you're doing like, if you like to get like different kind of effects and layering. It just like, it's too much. It's too much pigment, you guys. Yeah, I feel like as soon as like someone says something super negative and hurtful in a comment section, what I've learned over the years is that like it will be a gateway for people to just hop on board, and then you'll get like a train of like hate comments just about your face, which is like really cruel. And then like the thing that always gets me is people will be like, you would look so much better if you looked like this, or if you looked like that, or if your nose was like this, or your lips were like that, or your eyes were like this, like just like outrageous stuff. And then you get a cosmetic procedure and then they rip you apart because like you should love what God gave you. And it's like, oh, hello, you in the other comments like months ago were saying how like I would look so much better if I was like this. Anyway, terrible. Absolutely terrible. But this one person was like, it's so obvious you have lip filler. Like literally I have the smallest amount of lip filler you can possibly can put in your lips. It's like, okay, relax, lady, like move on. Anyway, I'm gonna be using this Korean eye glitter by the Flynn brand. I bought this in Japan and I thought it was a Japanese brand because there's only Japanese labeling on it, but it's actually a Korean brand. I found out when I found it. But anyway, we're going to double stack this glitter kind of everywhere. And this one is more of a translucent glitter, so it's easier to stack on top of makeup because it doesn't add any pigment, which I love. So we're going to be putting that on the inner corner, and then we're going to be dragging it across the entire lid and a little uppity. And usually with my eye looks, I tend to prefer a center glitter and not like such a full-on across the board glitter, but since we're trying to recreate this look, we'll do exactly what we see. And then she probably has a little bit of a small strip lash on that's just on the outer part, but I don't particularly need that because hers looks really, really subtle and I have a lot of eyelashes. So we're just going to go ahead and curl. Anyway, I think what a lot of people forget, because we're all so heavily bombarded, especially on like TikTok and social media as it is now, with like, you know, it's not like back in the day where you searched for specific makeup looks. It's now you're just kind of getting served what an algorithm wants you to see just by like swiping. It's not like just scrolling until you find something that suits your style. So I feel like in the makeup community, which I'm not particularly in so much anymore, I'm more in cat TikTok. But sometimes I fall into the makeup community. I'm just gonna be focusing this mascara on the outer corner mostly. This is the Majorca Lash Extender in black. But when you fall into makeup TikTok, it's all this very like heavy transformative makeup looks, which is fun, but I think a lot of people forget that makeup doesn't have to be like such a dramatic like costume level transformation. It can simply be just a beautiful look or something that accentuates your natural features, right? It doesn't have to be like cosplay or costume makeup or stage makeup. And like, I think in the past month, I've had like a few comments where it's just so, in my opinion, stupid, because it's like, well, I'm not trying to transform myself into this person. I'm simply doing a pretty makeup look. Like, that's inspired by what I see, like, you know? And it's just like, I think some are so accustomed to these sorts of makeup videos that, you know, it's almost to be expected whenever you're seeing like a random makeup look that, oh, they should be transforming into something. And it's like, no, we're just recreating a pretty look. Simple. All right, so I think that's it for the eyes. Now let's move on to the eyebrows. And what I really liked about this look is that she does something that I do quite a bit in my like cosplay. When I do like a cosplay look, I do this. But she put the pink eyeshadow as her like eyebrow powder, which is fun. So I'm going to be going ahead and taking that same base color that we used for the overall lid, the Labyrinth. And we're just going to be using that to fill the eyebrows. And then after, I'll go in with a lighter brow mascara to help just lighten up my natural brow hairs because they are a little bit dark. I'm just filling in the sparse areas with that pinkish shadow. Feels like I should have like a pink wig on or something. We're not going to heavily fill the front because hers aren't very heavily filled. You know what's interesting as well is this is the first year in a long time that I'm not doing Vlogmas. And like, I'm totally okay with that because like, I still naturally feel the urge like I need to be filming more than I usually do because I've done Vlogmas for so long. Like, I think I started doing Vlogmas back in 2016 and I've done Vlogmas every year since then. So it's like, but I don't know, the past year I failed at Vlogmas, if anybody remembers, because I got so sick that I couldn't film. And then like I impromptu got married. Yeah, for Vlogmas. So that was like fun. But yeah, it was just I don't know, that was kind of like a all right, so I think my life is a little too much. I'm taking this pink XL blush. It's a little bit more on the peachy side, but hers looks a little on the peachy side as well. And we're just going to be doing that right on the kind of outer apples of the cheeks because that's where she has it. And it's more like a spot blush. But because I have such high cheekbones, it might be a little bit hard for me to achieve the exact same look, but we're gonna try to just like put it right there. But yeah, like I still naturally, like it's just kind of like embedded in me to feel the need to create and do the most, but also like the holidays is an exciting time. She also has the blush over the nose as well, and then on there, her nose is wider and flatter than mine, so naturally it's not going to look the same because my nose has a lot more natural shadow to it. I had a comment on my last video saying I overly contoured my nose and I should do less. And I was like, I literally barely used any contour. Sometimes I feel like people just don't listen to the video where I explain, because my nose is so high and prominent compared to an Asian person's, I'm gonna have a lot of shadow, so it's not gonna look the same. Like I have a white person nose, guys. It's not going to look the same, but we can at least apply the makeup in the same pattern. Guys, come on. Listen, please. I mean, I still feel that strong desire to film and create during the holiday season, but also it's like such a happy and fun time of year that it feels nice. So for my nose contour, similar to last time, we're going to be using this absolute lightest shade ever that is almost like the same as my skin tone. Okay. And we're just going to be doing my usual nose contour, which is mostly just the tip, just to make sure my nose is looking how I like it to look, because that is what's important. And if you're recreating a look, if you have a specific way you like to contour your nose, then you can totally do it that way as well, because that is what complements your face and your features. So my usual contour is I like to define my philtrum area a little bit, and then I just like to balance out my nose because naturally my nose isn't completely symmetrical and never has been. And then I just like to take my finger and buff it so it's blended nicely. And then for my contour on my jawline, you probably won't notice it too much because of the lighting naturally is casting a shadow there, but just for the sake of it, we're gonna go ahead and do just a classic jawline contour very softly, just to ensure the colors are symmetrical around the face and there's no missed spots. And then the forehead I always like to do again, so I make sure that everything is tied together and symmetrical and consistent in reality. Now I see that she has a fake, where's my, I thought I brought it, I guess I didn't. I can see that she has a, oh, there it is, it's right there. She has a fake, or it could be real, a fake little beauty mark right where I have a natural beauty mark, but whenever I put on foundation, it hides it. So just right there on the nose, I'm just going to re-accentuate my beauty mark just right there. And then she doesn't look like she has any cheekbone contour, but or not contour, highlighter, but it does look like she has some highlighting on her nose in a couple places. Now personally for me, I don't like putting highlighter right here on my nose because once again my nose bridge there is really high and it's also really slim, so it really kind of accentuates the slimness of that area of my nose when I highlight it. But for the sake of the video, we're going to be going ahead and doing that. So I'm just going to be going into my Bobbi Brown highlighter that I got a million years ago and somehow is still kicking. We're going to be picking up a bunch of that and just highlighting right where she's highlighted. We're going to be doing that nose tip again. Try to get it to stand out a little bit more because it looks like she really went heavy on the nose tip as well. There we go. Now it's time for the fun part. I don't know why, like I always love the lips. The lips are always the favorite part of a makeup look for me. I just love it so much. I don't think she really did any real lip liner, so we're gonna go ahead and just dive into lip color. I'm gonna be experimenting with a different kind of method today. Usually I prefer lip tints, but hers looks pretty gradient, so we're gonna try to achieve a similar effect. So for the base, I'm gonna be going in with the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood. So I'm not sure where where my camera stopped recording. But we just finished using the Charlotte Tilbury liquid lipstick, Hollywood Lips in the shade Showgirl, and we just kind of tried to focus that a little bit on the middle and then blend it outwards for more of that gradient effect. But it was way more smudgy than I would have liked it to be, so we're gonna go ahead and just take whatever this is, this Japanese. Actually, no, we're not gonna do another. Actually, should we? Maybe we should. This one's a little too red, I think, for my liking. What is this? Is this omija red? What color is this? Yeah, that's omija red. Let's do omija red then. This is the romnd Glasting Water Tint. I think this is the Handbook edition one, so it's probably discontinued. But anyway, it's more of a neutral reddish shade. We're just going to, again, focus that on the middle to get that stain tint effect going on. A little more isolated, which sometimes is a little easier said than done. Just try to let that settle in a little bit. And then it's always hard to tell because these photos are always a little like low quality. I think it's always important to remember that a lot of these Douyin style makeup looks use a lot of filters on them, so they're usually heavily edited to a degree, so it's a little bit hard to tell. But I think she has a glitter lip gloss on that's really light in the glitter, so we're just gonna go ahead and use this random one that I have here by BYS just to get more of that glitter effect going on. Yeah. And I feel like I was not able to really achieve as much of that gradient lip effect as I wanted because that Charlotte Tilbury lipstick is just smearing everywhere. But that's okay. Should we do the brow gel? I don't know. Should we do it? Let's go ahead and try. So I'm going to be taking my favorite eyebrow mascara. This is the Heavy Rotation Coloring Eyebrow in the like kind of taupe shade. I think it's number 4. It's a Japanese drugstore brand. It's really nice. We're just going to try to manipulate those eyebrows a little bit so they're less dark, but I don't want to fill them in either. But I have more eyebrow hairs than her, so unless I shaved off my eyebrows, I'm not going to get the exact same look that she has because hers are a lot more sparse than mine, but we can at least try to lighten them up and get them positioned a little nicely. And then her look looks very, very matte, but again, you can clearly tell in the images that she has filters on to soften and smooth out her skin. So this is as matte as it's gonna get in video, but this is the look.